ready to get your social on? All right, great. If you think about it, social media literacy has really become a competitive advantage, not just for organizations, but also for individuals. Social media campaigns are used not only to engage our customers and our guests, but also employees. There's a multitude of collaboration tools out there that are helping global teams work more effectively. There are blogs and networking social sites that are helping us to share information. And again, there are so many tools out there that are helping us to improve training and the sharing of knowledge. Yet with all these benefits, people are still very uneasy and uncertain about navigating through the risks of social media. If you think about social media and collaboration and communication, it really travels across random paths, across many levels in an organization. There's also this whole thing about losing control. Traditionally, if you think about your organizations, the communication that we use today goes through a number of different hierarchies, and we all have these accepted processes that we have to follow. So leaders in the 2020 workplace are going to need to be able to balance using social media effectively with navigating through the potential risks. And that creates a whole new set of skills that our leaders are going to need to be successful. So I want to share some of those with you today. So the first one is to create compelling content. There's a multitude of ways to share information with our team members. It could be through the written word on a blog, it could be through videos, it could be through live streaming. Our leaders are going to need to be able to write and create content that is authentic and compelling enough for somebody to take notice. It's that authenticity and transparency that's going to continue to engage our employees as well as to develop trust. In addition, we're going to need some technical skills as well, because we're going to have to start producing and editing. The days of large production teams and lead times are really starting to dwindle. How many of us and how many of our leaders are just really comfortable today taking a video and just uploading it in real time? We're going to need to be able to manage through a number of different social media formats. Leveraging broadcast channels. As I mentioned, traditional organizational communication today is very linear, and also there's a lot of control around it. Social media communication travels across many channels all at the same time, and we have a loss of control. As leaders, we're going to need to be able to use both types of broadcast channels effectively, knowing which one to use for which message and when. Managing the influx of communication. How many of us are still trying to figure out how to manage our email inbox? Yes? Okay. Well, it's not just about email anymore. Social media has dramatically increased the influx of communication. In fact, in a survey that IBM did in 2012 with a group of CEOs, they identified that the influx of communication and data was one of the most important issues affecting their ability to make strategic business decisions. As leaders, we're going to have to be able to understand the filters out there that are going to help us manage the information, analyze it, and understand not just what is important, but what is important at a particular point in time. Creating a collaborative organizational environment. All of us have organizations that have identified roles of responsibilities and systems of accountability. And if you think about it, those naturally start to create functional silos in our organization. And people have a hard time sharing information. With social media, again, just by means of how communication travels across many levels at the same time as an organization, it by nature starts to break down those silos. We've always known that our employees are great sources of creativity, innovation, and ideas. So we really need to start harnessing social media to capture that knowledge. How many have heard the expression, knowledge is power? Yeah? Okay. Today, the real power is the sharing of knowledge. In that same survey that IBM did, CEOs identified collaboration as one of the most important skills that they are looking for in new team members. 75% of them said it was critical. So savvy leaders are going to work on creating an environment where there is a free exchange of information, and they are developing the skills of openness and transparency. Collaboration has become a key or a strategic business skill for people. Know your influencers. Leaders really need to develop a strong group of followers, and you need to know who is influencing in your particular industry. Because when you send out a message, you want to make sure it goes through the right channel and it reaches the right audience. Drive social media literacy. It's really important to pay attention to what's going on in your organization with regard to social media literacy. It's still very new for organizations to use and employ social media, and sometimes our enthusiasm as an organization to use those different tools is a little bit mismatched with what social media literacy is all about. So it's really important for us to really promote as leaders learning and reflection and the use of social media. I don't know if any of you remember, but a few years ago in the UK, there were some riots going on. And David Cameron, who was the Prime Minister, wanted to shut down all the social media sites to help manage what was going on with the riots. And the chairman of Google at the time, Eric Schmidt, had this to say. He said, "It's a mistake to look in the mirror and to try to break the mirror. Whatever the problem was that caused the riots is reflected in the internet. You need to look to the internet to help solve your problems." So I would say that leaders need to look to social media to help learn what is going on in their organizations. That could mean the creation of new roles such as community mentors, network analysts, and content creators. And lastly, we need to stay ahead of the curve. There are so many tools out there that can help us as an organization achieve our business goals. But as we know, social media is changing day by day. There are new tools out on the market every day. We need to make sure that we are staying ahead of what's happening out there, what's new, what the trends are, and helping to determine which is going to be most beneficial for our organization at that particular point in time. Social media is really one of the things, social media literacy is something we really do need to pay attention to. It has really impacted the way we live and work, and it will continue to do so. Those organizations that harness its power, train their leaders in new skills, will be better prepared for the future. They'll be able to attract and retain new talent, increase collaboration both inside and outside the organization, harness the knowledge of their employees that's going to result in better engagement in our employees, improved customer loyalty, and improved profitability. So let's get our social on.